Are you ready? Get set. Let's go. Now, this didn't happen to me today because I wasn't working this late, but this is something I thought of. A late table. And what I mean by late is the restaurant is about to close. And you walk into that restaurant expecting a full dining experience. Okay? Yes, we're open. We are there to provide you with a full dining experience. Here's why we get pissed off when that happens. We may have been there for 8 hours, long day, maybe it's a busy Saturday night, and you walk in 1 minute before that posted closing time, before we lock the doors, you walk into that restaurant. By the time the host says, party of 3, and you say yes, or God forbid, party of 7, we're waiting on 4 people. Bitch, we closed a minute ago already. Okay, so by the time you say 3 and they walk you to the table, let alone even sit down, that minute is over. Now, I want to go home. We are officially closed. The 4 closers in the restaurant, sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 4. Some restaurants, the entire staff has to stay till every table is gone. Usually it's 3 to 4 people are assigned. Their responsibility that night is to close the restaurant, front of house, back of house, clean the tables, put all the stuff away in the fridge, all that stuff. So these 4 people, and it may not be me, now have to wait for you to leave. Because they have to wait until you are completely done to make sure that table is clean. And most restaurants, all 4 closers have to leave together. One is not allowed to go to a manager and say, I'll clean the table, can the other 3 leave? The answer is going to be no. So now you're keeping 4 servers, 5 including me or whoever's serving you if they're not a closer. So we'll say 4. We'll be generous, say the closers are the ones serving you. 4 servers. What are you about to order? The kitchen's already closing down because we closed a minute ago, but you need 2 or 3 minutes to look over the menu, right? So by the time they can't close down. They can't clean the grill. They can't clean the fryers. They can't break down the salad station and put all that stuff away. They can't break down desserts, right? Because we don't know if you're going to order dessert or not. So you are now keeping 4 servers, at least 3 cooks, right? So you have the guy that's going to work the grill, the guy that's going to work this, and he might pick up like those pastas in the saute station that someone else normally works, but it's late, so they went home. So you have that cook. You have the guy who works the salad and appetizer station. Then you have the guy who works desserts. So now we have 8 people that are being held. Wait a minute, there's a head wait. This is a server or somebody else in the restaurant who takes all of the money from the servers. At the end of the day, we have to run this reading. It says how much cash. Remember we talked about we hold it on us, so we have to give that to the restaurant at some point. That's somebody that has to stay. There's at least one manager that has to stay. The busser has to stay. The dishwasher has to stay. So now there are 12 people who want to go home after working 8 hours or more. And because of you, we all have to stay there. And 9 times out of 10, these late tables, it just seems to work out this way. I don't know why. I'm not talking about any group of people, just late tables in general, tend to tip shitty. I'm talking your bill's $60 and you drop 2 thinking that that's okay. After I pay tip share, which we'll get into in the next video, I paid for you to eat there. But we'll talk about that later. So here's what I can liken this to. We want you to come in. We want your business. Just tip us and be courteous. Don't sit there for an hour when you're done eating talking because these 12 people are still waiting for you to leave. All right. So let's say you go to a grocery store or Target, Walmart, any sort of retail store. As you're shopping, they come over the loudspeaker and say, this location, this store is closing in 10 minutes. Proceed to the register with your items. If you wait longer than 10 minutes to get the register, they're going to say, sorry, we've closed everything down, pulled all the registers to the back. You have to come back tomorrow. Sorry, you don't get to buy all that shit in your cart today. Well, we don't say that. When you walk into a restaurant, we don't say, we close in 1 minute, give me your order, We'll cook it, you'll eat it, and you'll be out in 1 minute. We expect you to be there at least half an hour to 45 minutes based on the restaurant. That's an average, what we call table turn. From the time you walk in and sit down to the time you're done eating and you leave, we expect it to be 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes an hour based on the restaurant, usually 45. So we let you come into our restaurant expecting you to be there for almost an hour, and you're rude to us. Just understand, any other place of business wouldn't allow you to do this. At a restaurant, we do. Please keep that in mind. All right. You can like this or subscribe or comment or something like that, I guess, if you want.